Hey guys, it's Taylor. So this is my study tips video. This has been requested so many times. So if you guys enjoy it, it's definitely a great way to start off the new semester. I know I start off my new semester in about 2 days, which I'm super excited for. So for the new semester, you start off with a clean slate. It's the beginning of all your classes. Definitely time for you to be able to do well. And if you did poorly last semester, this is your time to step up to the plate and, ace all your quizzes and tests. You can make Dean's List or honors, whatever they have at your college. And that'd be totally awesome. Let's get right into it so you guys could start seeing all your A+, A's, and 100s on your report card next semester. So if you see me looking down, I just have a list of all my study tips, so I apologize for that in advance. Okay, so some of these are going to be kind of like common sense, but I figured I'd just throw them in here anyways. So one of the things you definitely need to do is go to class. I know some people are like, oh, I could skip a class here and there, which I guess it's okay, but I definitely recommend going to class just because some of my teachers, they definitely know whether or not you are in or not in class, because I go to like a medium-sized school and they tend to take attendance. If you don't go to class, it could affect your grade. And also a lot of my teachers tend to use things that aren't in the book and that are from their lectures, and you'd have to know what they were talking about in order to answer the question on the exam correctly. Or they'll show videos and make you do in-class activities, which if you didn't go to class that day, you're definitely going to get that answer wrong. So one thing you definitely want to do is if your teacher sent out a study guide, definitely print out that study guide and then make your own study guide from it, with your notes from the class as well as referring to the book. I like to make my own study guides. Instead of typing them, I prefer to handwrite them just because I feel like it makes me review the information, and if I'm typing it, sometimes I'll just get sidetracked and look at something else or start listening to music. But if I handwrite it, I just feel like it helps me more. This is just an example of one of my astronomy study guides from last semester. This is just part of it, and it's all crinkled, so it's like at the bottom of my backpack because all my other study guides are up at school. But I definitely recommend highlighters. I really like bright colored highlighters just because it kind of helps me draw my focus, and it also helps me know what topics are on the test and helps me go through my notes easily and find certain things that maybe I need to reinforce. This is just an example of one of my study guides from last semester. As you can tell, there's definitely a lot of highlighting, and I like to use printer paper and then write stuff on it. And also be sure if there's charts or anything to include charts. I definitely recommend writing on top as your study guide is for, what unit or subject the test is going to be on, and when the test is. That's especially helpful so you can keep your study guides and then be able to get them and refer to them during your midterm and final. So many people I know use these to study, and they are just note cards. So here's a ton of like really bright neon note cards, and these are just the regular white ones. What I usually end up doing though is I cut them in half so they're like this size. And that's usually like the perfect amount of size for me just to write whatever I need, like the vocabulary word and then the definition on the back. So then I'm getting more note cards, and I'm not wasting as many because half the time I don't fill up a whole note card with information. At the end of the semester, things could definitely get really hectic. So I definitely recommend getting planners just so you could write down when you have your exams and everything. This one is one I keep in my backpack. It has a planner as well as a resources tab, a geography tab, and a science and math tab, and I really like this one. It's really bright so it sticks out, which is good, so I know where it is in my backpack, and it also has references for different like conversions and maps and stuff like that, so it's definitely helpful. And then I keep this one in my purse just so I always can write down things again, and if I'm out somewhere I know whether or not I have a test and stuff like that, so I don't have to carry around my bigger planner in my purse. A few other study tips are that I most definitely recommend quizzing yourself with the material. So kind of make up a mock quiz or a mock test if you know what it's going to be about, and then print it out and then have yourself fill out the answers without looking at your notes or anything and see how well you do. And then once you do that, you could definitely tell what material you need to reinforce on or what material you're good. I also recommend studying with your friends, or if your class has any study groups, I would attend them. That's just definitely helpful because maybe if you don't understand something, if there's like a teacher's assistant, they usually could go through and help you and make sure you understand it, or sometimes it's just easy learning it with people who are also in your class so they could reinforce the material and kind of give you like another way of understanding the material. Also, so many people go to the library and study, and if you need peace and quiet, I know at the library in my school we have one floor of the library that's dedicated to complete silence. So if you're one of those people who needs like dead silence, definitely see if your library has a floodlight that, so then you could go up there and be able to study and concentrate. I also recommend meeting with your professor if they have office hours. So if you have any questions about the material, you could ask them right away, and they should definitely be able to help you. Most professors are super nice and they want you to do well, and they have their office hours for a reason. So if you attend their office hours or even shoot them an email asking them, they could just explain something to you further. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to. I also recommend setting a set time weekly for time for you to study or review things. For me, it's usually Sundays when I study and review things and like do my homework and get all that stuff done. And then once I realize, you know what, I need more time studying for this, then I'll allot myself more times during the week. I also tend to try to take my notes and look them over after the class so I could just refresh my mind with all the notes and everything. And also before I attend that class, if it's like a twice a week class, I'll try to go over the notes again before I have that class. Also, just definitely make sure you eat a healthy breakfast the day of your exam or quiz, definitely get enough sleep, and keep your mind positive and try to do your best. The thing that was actually in my collective haul video that I did recently was this really neat divider thing. It comes with all these dividers. It's this box, and it has even more dividers inside. And what I decided to do with this is to keep past spiral, I always use spiral notebooks for my classes, so past spiral notebooks for every class that I think I may need the information for in a future class, and put them in here, and also any worksheets, essays, anything like that that I think I could use in the future, just so I have the material if I need it. And sometimes it's nice looking back and seeing how a different professor explains something that maybe you're relearning again. So I'm definitely going to keep this, and then I'm also going to get an accordion. This one's going to stay in my house, this box thing. And then I'm also going to get like an accordion type one, so I could do that too for up at school. So this one will have more of like things I won't need this semester, and then the one up at school will have stuff that I will need this semester. I'll also be making a blog post with even more tips that correspond to this video.